Yo, Joe, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? That was a great countdown, man. It
And I don't understand what the hell's going on here.
was excellent, man. It was really cool. I was ready to go, and I pushed it, but you were
So,
too.
Joe,
What's up?
tell us who the hell you are.
Joe is the man. My name's Joe. Just you're a regular 40-something strip club owner from Worcester, living in Worcester.
Living in Worcester.
Yeah,
So, what you been up to, man?
living the dream, man. Working, keeping things together. Uh, quitting crack, stuff like that.
Now, here's the thing, right? So, I was at a nightclub. I was at a nightclub in Lawrence
Oof. When
Saturday night.
there's a performer there.
Yes, I was with Simply Hood.
There's a performance there, right?
Yeah.
A couple of girls in the club were there.
So, what are the girls from the club doing there? Like, explain.
Having fun.
So, the bottle girls were dressed like strippers. What is that about?
Making money. I mean, you can't
So,
strip. You can't strip in a club like that. So they get the bottle girls who dress like strippers and walk around, and effectively they wear less than strippers sometimes. Like bartenders now, and there's a girl just started at the club bartending. She worked at for the name of a club in Connecticut, one of the three rock star clubs,
right.
and they're strippers now. You know what I'm saying? They like basically are they're making a ton of money, but she doesn't want to strip. She wants to be a bartender, so she quit because there was a huge thing in New York a couple years ago about this too. The bartenders were being dancers, and there's no difference, and it's a huge deal. They're a huge deal. All because the customers want to see the bartenders and the waitresses naked because you can't, right? It's what forbidden fruit stuff.
So is that the new thing? Is that the new thing to be a bottle girl instead of a stripper?
No, they're different. Bottle girls are at nightclubs. Strippers are at strip clubs. You can be a bottle girl at a strip club, which is like being a bottle girl.
So,
Some strip
so,
clubs.
so what would a girl rather be, a stripper or a bottle girl?
Oh, it depends on your girl. What would you rather be, a firefighter or a prostitute? No, it depends on the girl. Some girls have no problem, getting naked and doing that thing, and some girls don't want to do it, but they want the money.
So who makes more money, bottle girls or strippers or dancers? Oh no, you can't. They're not called they're called sex
Entertainers.
workers now, right?
They were called what?
Entertainers.
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 Entertainers will typically make more money than a bottle girl, but
Right.
like an entertainer at my club is not going to make anywhere near as much money as a bottle girl in Miami. So, all things being equal, a stripper will make more money. An entertainer will make more money.
Entertainer. So how much do you think a bottle girl makes in Miami compared to a stripper in Boston?
Well, that's a good question because, put it this way, on a Friday night in my club, a girl can make $40 because she's not doing nothing, or she can make $3,000 because she's doing the most,
Okay.
and anything in between. I bet you a bottle girl in Miami on a good Friday night, depending on the club, has to make a few grand. Has to make a few grand.
What are you thinking? Like 10 grand? No.
No. I mean, they can, yeah, but I would say like consistent 3 grand. You know, consistent 3 grand. I mean, it's like back in Scores when Howard Stern was at Scores and stuff like that. Like hosts were making they'd have like $12,000 nights, $20,000 nights, but they typically like $5,000. That was back in the day at Score. You know what I'm saying? So I was just only said that because I talked to a girl that used to work there last night. So I would say today in Miami, I bet you they went from 2 grand to 4 grand, depending on the night in this club. Sunday night, halfway decent club Miami, probably $1,500, 2 grand. A killer club on a Friday night, probably 5 grand. Unless
Now,
P Diddy walks in, they just get raped.
so how does that all work? Like, so is there a charge? Yo, Crazy Crow, what's going on, man? Crazy Crow's with us.
Bobby Shakes, your aimbot is activated.
Crazy Crow, man. Crazy Crow's watching us again. What's going on, Crazy Crow?
Your what was activated?
My aimbot.
Bobby Shakes, your aimbot is activated.
Nice.
So, what are we talking about?
How does it work? A guy gets a room and he gets a bottle or a table, depending, and the girl is there to serve that table of people.
Right.
Typically, it's a minimum, not minimum 2 bottles, whatever the case may be. Minimum is like $2,000, and then they throw a tip on there, right? So it's 20% tip on, for say a 3 grand table is $600, but but they tip more than that. It's a nightclub, so it depends. It just depends on what you have. That's why it depends on the. So like, last time I had a bottle girl, I was at Yellow Cup in Foxwoods.
Right.
This was last year, or like just a few months ago. I don't know, 5 months ago, something like that. And summertime, and there was like 10 tables or 10 bottle girls. You know what I'm saying? So we had a bottle girl, and then we ended up switching her up because she wasn't as fun. And so, you know what I mean? So it's like what you want. You know what I'm saying? Then I ended up tipping that girl like $1,500, but the bill was only like $1,500. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know. You know what I mean? So like if you're in Miami and you got a guy getting 5 bottles, and the more money they spend, the more money you make. Right? The better you are looking and customer service wise, the more money you're gonna make. You can get stiffed, you can get blessed.
Right. So
But
it
you
only,
look at average, right? You're a bottle girl for a week. I mean, you're a bottle girl. You're supposed what you make for the week, right? Not the night. Same thing as an entertainer. Any tip service.
okay. So if you, so would you ever just go bottle girls at your club? No.
No,
Why?
because our entertainment license is for a strip club for strippers. So guys are coming in there to watch dancers, entertain.
So you always got to have entertainers in your club. You can't just go no entertainers.
I could, but it's like having a if you sell if you sell widgets, you know what I'm saying? But that particular kind of widget is a special one, and there's only 4 places in the city that you can get that widget. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why would you open up and sell a regular widget? You're going to sell a specialized widget because you know what I'm saying. So like there's four, not even anymore. There was 5 strip clubs in my area. Now there's only 3. One of them is like 20 minutes out. So for us not to have dancers, the guys just go to the other club. It's a
Okay.
strip club. It's
All
like
right.
a music venue with no music venue. We're going to play cards tonight. Okay, sweet.
Okay. So, I mean, a lot of people are saying that the strip club industry is dying. Is that true? Is that false? What do you
It's
think?
dying. Yes,
It's dying?
yes.
Why?
It's dying because things like online. Like everyone's online, so no one wants to go to their house anymore. You got all those jerk mate, chatter bait. You know, there's so many of them, dude. Cam soda. There's like chat. There's so many. You know what's coming back? Phone sex.
What do you mean by no, it's not.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. They're doing phone texting, sexting, phone sex, video cams with those sites. There's probably 1,000 sites right now you can go on right now and talk to any kind of person you want naked, sitting there and jerking off in the camera. And you
Phone
get
sex
tokens.
is coming
Phone
back?
sex, yeah, crazy. hmm And the thing is this: it's one thing is people want to leave their house. Two is, it's funny the kids nowadays. It is so now the kids nowadays they feel it's like you remember this T-shirt that says "support single moms" and there's a girl on a pole.
Right.
Nowadays the kids they feel bad for that single mom. You know what I'm saying? Whereas they don't want your sympathy, they want your money. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't like this their life. They're not like trying to be like they're single moms. They're making money on the pole, whatever. They don't look at what you know. What I'm saying guys come in, they're like, oh, they feel bad for them, and it's like it used to be you go and throw money, have fun. These guys, like, oh, are you okay? Like just like it's a weird psyche thing, right? So they're not. It's a party mentality isn't around as much anymore. So you can't make as much money, and as a strip club, if you don't make as much money, the girls aren't going to want to dance. There's some clubs right now that are wired up for cameras, and it's actually a virtual strip club, and you can tip the girl, and the money comes out of an ATM on the ceiling, and it goes in the floor. Like there's some strip clubs that have no patrons. It's strippers in a DJ with cameras.
What do you mean?
And let's talk about the sex doll revolution too. Yeah, I mean, there's companies that do this. They come in, they wire your club up, and you can go. It hasn't really made mainstream yet. Like they have it, and they have rooms. Like for instance, if I had a room in my club, I would have. It's all about chat now. I would have a room where the girls would be on camera, right, off rotation on camera, doing whatever in that room. If I had a bigger room, I would have girls. I would have a separate stage area.
Right.
So the stage area, have Betty's online, and it's basically they're dancing online. And the guys can tip. You tip tokens on whatever.
Right.
It's cool because it's like kind of cool. The ATM money comes out of the ceiling and it falls on the girl, which is kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the new owners of the bars ain't that cool anymore. Are you talking about me? Crazy Crow, what's up? No, but you know what I'm saying? So there's all sorts of different stuff now. And it's just like the big clubs with all like the like the big clubs with all the square footage and stuff, like they're tough to run now because their overhead's so big. And they're doing things now like they're actually putting like stores in them and like smoke show like for instance, in Vegas, one of the big dispensaries out there is going to Peppermint Rhino, right? So you're gonna be able to get like your vapes, your cannabis, your strippers. I'm sure they're gonna end up there's part of a head store too. You know what I'm saying? So it's more like they it's not just like it's just dying, like it's just not what it used to be. Guys want something different. But the main thing is online. You go to Chatterbait right now, there's like 1 million girls online right now. Some girls have 5,000 people watching them, bro. Just sitting there, doing nothing, just playing with himself. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. They're making bank. Like OnlyFans. Come on.
Yeah, so I saw this girl. One girl said that she made $43 million on
Yeah,
OnlyFans.
maybe, but that's also like your 1%. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
some girl probably got, extremely lucky, extremely talented, extremely hot. You know what I'm saying? And whatever happened, I doubt that's a big number, but that's like I don't know if I believe that, but yeah, a lot of money, a lot of money.
So what do you think? What do you think the future of strip clubs is then? How would you innovate that space?
Well, there's a couple of things. So if you look at the exotic dancer convention 2 years ago, maybe they were talking about robot dancers. They actually had robot dancers at the main club in Vegas where the convention was being held. Now they were looked like robots and they weren't the most. It was more of like a statement. But um, if you go to Japan right now, you can get a sex doll delivered to your hotel room. Right? They have sex doll brothels in Europe, Japan. It's like a $30,000 doll. It's like a very, very lifelike, very doll. They heat up, they vibrate. You know what I'm saying? They now with AI, forget about it. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, if I had the task of setting up a new strip club in a place like Vegas or Dallas or something like that, and money wasn't really an option, and it was such to be innovative, I would have robot dancers that look just like a human, AI, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Robot dancers can't dance though, can they?
Yeah, they can.
Like a real woman, or
I mean, they're damn well close, but at the same time, again, it's not like you're trying to trick the guy. It's just something different. You know what I mean? Like it's interesting, not only that, but the girl's gonna say exactly what you want to hear. She's gonna do exactly what you want you to do. At the end of the day, it's interesting because is it prostitution? I don't really know. If you take a robot dancer in the back room, and these clubs are prostitution, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So you can't in my club, you can't have sex. You know what I'm saying? It's a strip club. It's not a brothel. You know what I'm saying? But
right?
and it's just on top of my head. If I had robot dancers and there were no humans involved on that side of it, and it wasn't like some robots, some humans, that might be a problem. But if you went to like a brothel and you were having sex with a robot doll,
Right.
would that be illegal? It's not fornication in public. You're in a room. It's not. I mean, can you pay for sex in any way? Is it illegal to pay for sex, or is it just the act itself? Like, is it like paying? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the actual law? You can't pay for sex, but that's with a human. Was it even say on the books? Does it say you pay for sex with a human, or is it, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it gets really interesting. It's really interesting. People have relationships. Okay, they're talking about having like robot assistants. Everyone's gonna have like a robot assistant around them at all times.
Right.
You think those things aren't gonna stroke? And they're gonna ride you, they're not gonna fuck you, you know what I'm saying? Of course they are.
That's weird.
It's really weird. Because think about this. This is where you can hack that stuff to have like your ex in there, you know what I'm saying? Or like a movie star, like someone like it's crazy. Like imagine like I had a crush on you, Bobby Shakes, and I like stole your fucking AI identity some weird way, and I put it in my robot, and I was like, "Hey, Dro, how's it going?" Like it's Bobby Shakes. I mean, like I don't know, it's on top of my head, but it gets crazy. It gets crazy. But as far as a club, I would have robot, like they already have robot bartenders in places.
Yeah, like the little ones on. Yeah, like when we go to this Crazy Crow's loving this conversation.
Mm.
Yo, Crazy Crow, you want to do me a big favor? Go to apt. Forgot what I was gonna say. So yeah, but they're just a robot on wheels, right?
Well, yeah, I think I'd have to go. I know that in Vegas, and this is years ago, so you're going back 5 years. There's definitely one bar that has robot bartenders. My guess would be that there are some sort of wheels or something like that. But it's only because no one has the interest right now, right? You have sex dolls. Right? Sex dolls. The reason that how they got money to be researched and made was through medical, right?
Okay.
Sexual problems, right? PTSD, cancer, things where you can't, you know what I'm saying? Basically, it's intimacy issues, it's therapy, right? That's how they got the funding, to kind of make this work, right? But if all it takes is one guy with serious money or something to, to make it blow up, right? They're like, no one's gonna put money into sex doll dancers, you know what I mean? But if northern central Canada, oh, sorry about that. Just kidding. I dated a girl from Ontario once. She was up in Muskoka. Anyways, you know what I mean? Like it's there. Like with the AI, forget. Because I always thought I wanted to get a hotel, like old motel out near Worcester.
Right.
And it was on this 146, and I wanted my dad wanted to make it a brothel. I wanted to go out there and get a space in there, and basically do, like Worcester therapy, sex therapy. And, basically like you go in there and you go to a room and it's like, these are big, heavy dolls. So they position it the way you want it and this and that. But now I'm thinking like in the future, like I was gonna have like a big screen and headphones, so you can like kind of get, but now the things will talk to you. You don't need that. They heat up, like they're any part of you want the heat will heat up. It vibrates. You know what I mean? You can like, not to get gross, but you can pop in and pop out like receptacles, you know what I'm saying? So like for cleaning, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like you can't tell the difference between, it's like wax person. If you had a wax person 10 feet from you and a real person, a lot of times you can't tell the difference. His AI stuff's crazy. I mean,
Jesus Christ.
No, I don't know. Like, yeah, it's not gonna. You're gonna stick. It's a doll. It's not gonna be like. It's not gonna be like flex. It's not gonna be like we are like like cuddling stuff like that. But who knows where the future's going? And if you put on a headset, right? Then
Right.
You put on a headset, you can get a warm from watermelon. And, you like you don't know what's going on. You got a headset on. There's a girl, and that headset sound the most. You don't know what's going on outside the headset. Which brings you another great point, which we can talk about later. But basically, how we're not, we're in not a simulation like people say a simulation, but like some sort of weird simulation where like we have a basic headset on us, so that like we don't really. Okay, put it this way. Let me start over. When I was in college, graduating college, I was a philosophy major, and one of the philosophers we studied was Immanuel Kant, right? And he said, if a tree, if a tree falls in the woods, no one's around, does it make a sound?
Right.
He was saying, does it even exist? Right? Because if no one's looking at it, how do we know it exists? Right.
Right.
So they've done some mathematical work. Now I'm very, very early on this. I just saw this myself. I can't explain this, but like top physicists, mathematicians right now are doing is proving that basically we are in some sort of a simulation where we have a headset that gives us the data we need to get through life, right? So, and they're saying basically things are made on the fly as we see it. And this is the example you use in Grand Theft Auto. A guy gets in a car, he gets in the steering wheel, he takes off. What he's saying is that steering wheel, that car is not in the computer. You know what I'm saying? So what he's saying is basically like this computer right now I'm talking on, like this computer isn't in the big computer that we're in, right? It's a simulation of one, right? So they're saying that this is all, and it brings back down to this. They said, if when we were, you got to watch this because I'm only giving you the probably the worst explanation ever. when we were evolving, right? They did a study, and I don't know how they can prove this mathematically because it's mind-boggling to me, but this is what they prove mathematically, okay? I don't know how they do it. They wanted a question. In evolution, right, when we were evolving, do we have all the information we need of reality, right? So like, do we have every single thing we need in reality, or do we have like a cheat sheet, right? And what he meant by that was a keyboard, right? A keyboard makes it so that you can use a computer without knowing what computers. When I hit HG, whatever, I don't know what's going on back there. If I knew that it was 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, and it was going here and there, I wouldn't be able to do it, right? So what they're saying is this keyboard is like a cheat sheet, or like a way for us to use something that's much more complicated, right? So what they're saying is our mind is like a headset, primitive headset that allows us to get through life. But in actuality, outside the headset is so crazy that we wouldn't be able to do it. We don't understand it. It would be crazy, right? So that's what they're saying. But the problem is, they're saying they're proving this mathematically. They said, bro, that they've proven mathematically that they found structures outside of our universe. And they're like, there's a name for the structures, but they're like, they're like structures that are like, all symmetrical and stuff like that. And they have like structures in the structures. And they're saying they're finding them outside the universe just standing there.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean that?
Well, I just said they're saying, this is what they're saying. Just take it as what I said. They're mathematically now proving,
right?
And they're finding structures outside of our known universe, outside of the universe. Now, what space are they sitting in? I don't know what space they're sitting in. They're just saying that they found these structures outside of the universe that they're finding, mathematically proving that they're there. Bro.
So hold that thought. Hold that thought.
Thank you. I know, it's getting crazy. Come on, ask Bobby Shakes to put you on. Crazy crow.
I mean,
hold on. I'm getting you to the green easy. All right. Okay. No, not this guy. No. Okay, this guy. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I'm right in the middle of something, man. I'll call you when I'm done. Okay, in the morning. I'll be early. I'll be up. No problem. Okay, there's a guy named Donald Hoffman, okay? And you just got to watch this, man. It's crazy. You can't. He's like, what he's saying is that what we are is the problem I have with a lot of this stuff is they say they're proving some of this stuff mathematically. And I'm like, how do you prove mathematically that, like, it's like they say when I talked about like how they give us like a headset that lets us live in reality because the real reality would be too crazy for us. They said that there's game theory, I guess. They've proven that like with all the animals, they ran simulations. They had animals that were given enough information like about like, like eating, sleeping, fornicating, reproduction and stuff. They gave animals like all the information of the universe and then just what they need to survive. It's really crazy stuff, man. And the ones that had just enough information to survive, 100% of the time were the ones that made it through evolution. The other ones all died. Now, how do you prove mathematically? How do you prove mathematically that, like, it's way beyond our stuff, man. Like you can't. It's like.
So say that again. Say that again slowly because I was typing.
Right.
You got to say that slowly. Valerian wants to get in on this conversation. Yo, Valerian, send us your email, and I'll send you the code for you to get in here.
All right, so
this is some wild shit. This is wild. I have to make a drink. Like, you're giving me a headache.
You guys Google this. Google Donald Hoffman, or YouTube, whatever. Okay, and he has two. It's on a podcast called Know Thyself. He's on. He's got two shows. It says Nothing You See Is Real is the name of the show. Is it that episode? 2 episodes, and it's crazy stuff, man. It's just crazy stuff. Like, the problem is though, think about this. I was a senior in college, philosophy major. That was in 1999.
Right.
And this guy had written books in the 1800s talking about if we don't see it, it doesn't exist. And they're saying now that that's what they're saying. Like, he's basically saying that if nothing is perceiving something, it's not there. It doesn't exist.
So here's the thing, right? And
this one thought. Because what's one problem? One problem with this. What he's saying is that the headset that we have on, is putting together things on the fly. So when I walk into my apartment, turn the light on, my headsets make it so that I can see the tile, the kitchen, and all this stuff, right? Because before I turned the light on, I got there, it wasn't there, it didn't exist, right? The problem I have with that is, how do you on the fly render plastic, right? Wood, right? Like my sneakers, right? How do you render that stuff on the fly? Because I can pick that object up and break it, or not break it or whatever. So if it's being rendered on the fly, how's that possible? But they're saying because of atoms, right? Because this is what they're saying. And everything goes down to a single structure. We're all made of atoms, right? So they're saying that atoms, even smaller things in atoms, which I don't remember the name of them, basically, if they act differently if they're perceived, right? And now they did a test where it's not the light test. It's not the light test, because that's like things where atoms were going through something, and when they were perceived, when the lights were on, they went a different way, because the light the radiating light can kick something super light off, right? So there's not that concept. There's not a simulation like someone's on a computer and you're in someone's computer simulation, right? This is totally different stuff he's talking about. So that's my problem, is that because he's saying, like, you got to watch what he's saying. Like, everything has a consciousness, maybe not the same rate, not the same scale, but like a rock has a consciousness. Everything's consciousness. What he's saying is outside of our thing here is basically just one giant consciousness. And he sent us down here as like a mirror to see like what his consciousness would do. It's crazy stuff, dude. But my problem is that they're saying they're proving stuff mathematically. And how do you do that? How's that possible? How do you mathematically prove anything? Like that's not math, right? Like, you can prove numbers or right? But how do you mathematically prove like that there's structures somewhere outside of a universe? Like, how does that? Because or put it this way. They're also saying that they don't think that the Big Bang was one point in time. I'm not even I'm gonna start talking nonsense right now, because I don't. What I said is my interpretation of what I heard. Okay, and I'm not gonna get any more than that, because what I was just about to say, I don't really understand. I don't really know what the rest of that was. So you got to watch these podcasts, man. It's incredible. Donald Hoffman, Know Thyself. It's like they're both 2 hours, and you're really gonna sit there and be like, what?
So hold on a second. Valerian wants to get in on this. So I'm gonna send him an email. Hold on.
All right. How do you know Valerian?
You should play Warzone with him. So you don't play video games, right? You don't play video games, Joe.
No, I do not.
Okay. So sometimes when you're playing certain video games, as you're playing the video game, like if you're in a world, as you're walking, the computer is generating that world.
Right.
So basically,
but here's the thing. But wait a second, stop right there, because I get that, right? Okay, but in the video game, it's pixels, right? So it's like the pixels grabbing pixels of a steering wheel or whatever. But in our real life, there are objects. Like, how do you render this on the fly and have you hold it and it work? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like what you know what I'm saying? Like, and then if I put this phone in a box over there and I don't look at it, it disappears. But when I go to open the box and look at it, it comes together. It works. All the connections go together. The plastic comes together. It is made, and I can pick it up and hold it. In the video game, that's not what's happening. You're seeing pixels of that. You're not seeing real, right? You're seeing made up, right? So if someone outside was watching our world, we were saying made up, but you can't get in that video game and say that guy's holding that steering wheel. It's a picture of a guy holding a steering wheel. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? So let's say,
because that wouldn't just be vision. That would just be vision. It wouldn't just be putting on our fly's vision. It would be physically too. I can understand.
Here's the thing, Valerian. I sent you an email. Once you get the email, you could get the link and jump in here. So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. So when you're driving, right? When you're driving down the highway, you don't feel that sometimes like the world is forming as you're driving? Because you really can't see the distance. So it's kind of like this room right now, right? So here he is. Crazy Crow wants in on the fucking madness.
Hey.
All right, here we go, Crazy Crow. This is gonna get fucking crazy. This is why I made myself a fucking drink.
Fuck, I wish I had something to drink right now.
So this is my homie Joe Grady.
What's up, man?
Hey.
So here's the thing. As you're driving down, like, so I have a camera, right? If I put my camera at a really slow shutter speed, it's gonna pick up all the light that my eyes can't see. So there's a lot going on right now in this room and in our room that we visually can't see. We can't see it. So there could be this world's being put together as we move through it.
Yeah, but the problem with that is, I'm gonna have to walk for a second. The problem with that is visually fine. That's fine. But how do you do that physically? How do you drive down the highway and have the road and the everything be made like birds? You know what I'm saying? Like whatever, everything be made on the fly as you're going, because you like it's physical. You know, like again, how do I pick this object up and interact with it if it was just made somehow on the fly out of atoms, molecules coming together? Like it's just like it's too unbelievable to believe. Like you can't. Where do they come from? How do they go in such a way that, you know, like a phone's incredibly probably not complicated to someone like their nose around, but pretty complicated to me. You know what I'm saying? Like all the things that they have to go on the right. It's not even getting correct. It's just how does it happen? It's like, where's it come from? And that's the whole world, bro. That's everything. Everything. So how is that possible? I can see visually fine, whatever. Yeah, the light comes in and it shadows, whatever you want to say. But physically, no.
What do you think, Valerian?
The simulation stuff and whatnot is, I believe that is honestly just crazy talk and whatnot. It was like, because there's a lot of different aspects about the universe and what's beyond and so on, and like light travels from a far distance, and like for instance, any star that you look at, the light is reaching us, but it's been probably years since the light left where it originally came from. It's like, and this simulation talk and whatnot, you can't really, I guess you could say you can't really make that up, kind of thing.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah, I was like, I'm completely sober. I'm completely sober right now, so fucking, I'm gonna have a harder time trying to get this out. Because usually, anytime that I'm talking like this with friends of mine, I'm completely wrecked. But what do you call it? like what you were saying that there's objects outside of our universe that's just sitting there. It's like there's been a lot of sightings of people with their own powerful telescopes that are looking beyond our galaxy, and that they're actually seeing either different planets or like what you said, different objects in the.
No.
Like,
This is bigger than that. This is outside of the universe in a black space. This is not like our galaxy or so far away. No, they're saying outside of the universe, the whole universe, whatever that is, and it could be infinite, which makes no sense. If it's infinite, how does it work? That they're finding structures that are so it's not like so far away you can see these things. No, it's outside of the universe. Their math and their mathematically proving it, which doesn't make any sense. There are these structures. They don't know what the structures are, but they know they're there. Not like you can see it. You know what I'm saying? It's like a separate thing, like outside of whatever the universe is.
yeah, I missed a portion of the conversation because I got hit with like 5 different ads.
No, it's cool. Yeah, really. So yeah, that so like and when this guy's talking simulation, he's not saying it's a typical simulation like in a computer, and it's like written in code, because what he's saying is, well, actually a good point to that is what this guy says is he can debunk this by this. There's no code you can write that makes like root beer taste like root beer. So if you're in a simulation, there has to be a code you can write that makes root beer taste like root beer. Yeah. Right. So and the people that his colleagues and stuff like that have different viewpoints, he said that shuts them down right there. So we're not in a simulation. He's not saying a simulation like that. So let's just give this guy the credit that he knows what he's talking about. So let's just say that's an easy one for them, right? What he's saying is it's a simulation more like we are all the same. We're all the same. We're all part of a bigger consciousness, and we're down here acting out what the big consciousness is having us do, for lack of a better way to explain it.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to explain. I mean, I don't know where free will fits into this and any of that stuff. I don't know, but
yeah.
So that's crazy in itself. But so in that sense, it's like a simulation because we're all just actually just a big blob of consciousness. But like that's fine. But I just don't understand that. I don't understand the rendering stuff on the fly. But the thing is, this is the thing that they prove mathematically that if we were to live with all the information necessary for reality, we wouldn't be able to do it because it's too complicated. Too complicated out there. So we have this headset on that allows us to go do things, right? But I just want to understand about that is that how do you on the fly put things together that are like objects you can hold? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't understand it. I just don't get it. But the thing is, when they explain to you at a like atom molecule size, it makes sense what they're saying. Right? Then they're saying, well, if that's true and we're all molecules and atoms, then it has to be true. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's where they act, what does it matter if it's this big, a table, an amoeba, whatever. If it's true, then it's true. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. So here's the whole thing, which is kind of crazy. So let's say I cleaned my house. If I cleaned my house and left my house for 10 years and came back, the house would be a disaster.
Right.
It would just break down.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the atoms and molecules, they have to be watched. The minute you start watching them, they resort to chaos.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's about being watched. It's
no.
About having a presence nearby.
Well, that's watching.
Like other living molecules in order to keep things maintained.
Right, but that's watching.
Well, he's saying it's not watching, just being there.
Yeah. Like
that's the other good question is what if you're blind, but your consciousness is there and all of you, it's the only thing that doesn't work on your eyes, right?
Right.
Yeah. I'm blind as fuck, honestly. Well, like if I was to take off my glasses, even though I'm
right.
like a little bit more than a foot away from my phone, I
Right.
won't be able to see the screen.
So the question is like, is that perceiving something? If I'm blind, I'm sitting here making a root beer float, right? Am I perceiving this root beer?
That's a good
Right.
question.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so is it your eyesight, or is it the being next to it? Is it the perceiving, the seeing it, or the feeling it, or knowing it's there, or whatever?
knowing it's there.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like I could do a lot of things without my glasses.
Right.
But it's just the aspect of knowing what you're doing and feel.
But you have to watch this show, and it's just the questions come a mile a minute. It's crazy. You have to
Nice.
watch it. You have to watch it.
I mean,
My life is
there's
all about work these days, so I don't really have much time to do anything.
It's crazy. I mean, when you start watching, you got to continue to watch it because it's nuts. Because some of the stuff they're saying is kind of far out there, but like it's stuff that's like accepted across everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So once you get into it, and some things are just accepted across the board as what they are. People know this. You know, that gets you to the next level because you can wrap your head around stuff a little bit better, and then it just goes like, and it's just great. It's just nuts. It's like
so let me ask you a question, which is it fate? Is our existence predetermined?
I don't know. You didn't get into that.
I don't believe it is.
I don't believe it is either. But I'm saying, if what he said, you're asking in this conversation, if that's
In this conversation,
I don't know.
In this conversation, there's a consciousness that's watching us, and a consciousness that's building the world for us to see it.
Right.
So that would mean our life is predetermined.
Well, not really, because the way he kind of said it was that like it was basically we're like a mirror for consciousness to see what it's capable of, or like how it reacts to things, or like what it does. And it's like, so I believe what he's saying is that no, it's not.
There actually is a bigger consciousness. It's like we're all energy. Like as soon as we die, our energy passes, and when we do die, there's an aspect of afterlife and whatnot. It's like, but that's only whatever you believe in and whatnot. But what some people say is what a few says that the truth is and whatnot is that there's one energy consciousness where we come from, and it's basically like how resurrection basically is. Not resurrection, the fuck do you call it? Yeah, resurrection, not like
To be resurrected?
yeah, like coming back to life in a different
Resurrected,
different life and whatnot.
right.
Yeah, and our world is not the only world. Our species, our human species, is not the only species in the universe. And the energy consciousness basically puts us where we believe we belong.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's what they say. That's what a lot of people say, and this is what basically this guy is saying that is mathematically. He's just, yeah. I mean, I agree with all that energy stuff. I agree with what he's saying, but what I don't understand is how we can be interacting with each other and things are being made. It's like, so that would mean that like nothing is real.
Nothing is real.
But that would also mean though that if you don't really live or die, like where's morals come into that? Because if you shouldn't kill a spider or a person, it's the same thing because it's all conscious beings. It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
You killing a spider is like you killing a human.
Yeah.
So, well, here's the whole thing when we talk about consciousness, right? And Valerian, you're a native Canadian, so you could correct me if I'm wrong, but there used to come a time where the Native Americans would, if they were going to pick a cut of spinach or pick an apple or
Yeah,
pick an orange.
they give thanks to the creator for what they've
Well, I heard that what they would do was they would sing and ease the killing or the picking of that apple. Like you would sing to that apple in the tree before you picked it. You wouldn't just go up and grab it off the tree, because that's a living being, right? So when you see an apple on a tree, that apple's a part of the tree. So if you're just going to go and violently rip that apple from the tree, you're affecting the consciousness.
Yeah. When it comes to my culture, the Nehido culture, that's Rocky Creek, we call it. They give thanks and they give offerings before they take from the earth and whatnot. It's like that. That's how my culture is. But
Right.
different native cultures have different ways of taking from other life and whatnot that they proceed to do.
Yeah. So if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna think about it, right? If you're gonna waste, we're not disrespect. We're just talking here, right?
Yeah. No worries about that.
So if I'm gonna waste time giving offering to something to then take it from the earth, right? That means that time that I'm wasting to do that process, there has to be a consciousness that is predetermined our destiny. It has to be.
Why?
Because we're wasting time to affect time. Because we know in our consciousness that there's something guiding us that's bigger than us. Because if you don't give a fuck, you just pick that apple.
Yeah.
There has to be some type of human sync with what's going on around us. There has to be, for you to take that time and effort and appreciation towards the earth.
Yeah, but who says they're right? I'm just saying that you're saying you're wasting time. First of all, why is it wasting time? It would be wasting time. It would be really good time because you're doing something to ease, suffering, or whatever the case may be. But who's to say that they're right? They could be talking to an apple. So why does it mean that we're predetermined? Where did you get that link?
So what I mean by that link is that some things are just predetermined, like an apple tree.
How does that prove that? How does a belief that you want to offer or
give
thanks to an apple before you pick it equal the fact that everything's predetermined in our life?
Because in order for you to believe into that, because you could be brought up in that culture and say fuck this.
Yeah.
But if you're in sync with this culture, then it just makes sense that it's done. There's a lot of Native Americans, a lot of natives that don't even believe in that. They're just native, right? But once you're in sync with the universe and the planet.
Why does that be predetermined? So you're saying if you believe in that, you can't believe in free will, is what you're saying?
Well, free will and predetermined can't survive in this simulation.
Yeah. Well, no. Well,
think about it, right? If we're saying we're just going by what he's saying, right? If he's saying that as the world is being created for us as we go.
Not as we go for us, as we perceive things.
As we perceive things.
It's just being made and unmade. Right now, if I go into my apartment and turn the lights on, it's there. When I leave, every time I leave my apartment, it leaves. It's gone. Yeah. Every time. Right? Okay. I understand that.
So if that is happening, there can't be any free will.
Why not? Because
if you had free will, you would determine that it's not your apartment, right? If you had the ability to do free will, you'd be able to write your own code, right? So that's what the Matrix was all about. Like Neo was able to write his own code.
Yeah, but what this guy is saying is that actually that we're consciousness. We're down here as a as a self-reflecting mirror to see what we're capable of and what we do. So from that respect, I would say that it's not, if you already knew that, if everything was predetermined, everything's already done, why would consciousness have to put us down here to see what we do?
Because it's a simulation.
Yeah, but what is this? But if it's already predetermined, what does the simulation equal? It would make more sense that we're in a simulation, but the simulation is going to give data. A simulation is run for experimental purposes. So if we're in a simulation, what's the purpose of it? It would be to see what we're capable of, right? What we do, our highs, our lows, our extremes, stuff like that. In order to do that, you have to have free will, because if you don't have free will, then you already know the answer where you do the simulation.
Right, but it could be. So let's say we're coding a piece of software.
Yeah.
I put in the code.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote the code.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I predetermined, I know what's gonna happen because I wrote the code.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So I wrote the code, I then hit play, and that code plays out.
Okay, but okay.
And then you find a bug.
Right. So basically, the consciousness that's watching us is writing the code, right? Then they hit play just to see if the code works. And if the code doesn't work, then they could try and fix that bug. Because that's
what bug? What bug? What bug? What's the purpose of it?
The bug could be
you're saying like a person going and killing someone else is a bug because we're not supposed to kill people?
Right.
Mhm.
But to what end?
So
like if you're writing, like, let's say,
so let's say I'm writing computer code for a man to walk across the street.
Okay, but do it bigger than that. Say you're writing Grand Theft Auto, right?
Right.
So Grand Theft Auto, there's a million different ways you can play the game, right?
Right.
When I decided to play Grand Theft Auto, does it know how I'm going to play it?
You can never know how you're going to play
Yes.
it because
right.
Because
it always happens. No, wait
you
a
always
second.
get distracted.
No,
Right.
wait a second.
I guess you could kind of say that would be the bug in the system.
No, but here's the thing. Grand Theft Auto has written inside the code all the objectives and non-objectives for you to go by.
Yes, that's right. Those are the guidelines.
So the guidelines are already in play. So
yes,
you can't play Grand Theft Auto outside of the guidelines.
Right, but you can play it within the guidelines as many different ways as you want to. Free will, I believe, is being able to do what you want to do. You're like free will means I was going to be here with you guys no matter what, right? That's free will, right? Okay.
Well, no, so
that's free will. I was going to get to this point in life, no matter what happened to me, I was going to get here with you. Everything I do is already predetermined. I've already talked to you. I've already met you. It already happened. It's going to happen again, right? That's what free will is, right? So it means that if there was no free will, every way you play Grand Theft Auto would be the same exact way every time. Every time you log into Grand Theft Auto, you do the same moves every time. That's not free will. If you took a bus to this place, killed this guy, stole that car, did it a different way the next time, that's free will. The guidelines are there. Yeah, I have to breathe. I have to eat. I have to, whatever. But at the same time, I can cross the street or not cross the street. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But here's the thing, right? There's the guidelines, right? The guidelines are set in the game. You don't really have free will within that game because there's only a certain amount of things you could do. The game won't allow you to really be free will. The game will give you.
You're now we're arguing about the definition of free will.
So to me, what is your definition of free will?
Definition of free will is that I in my life I can do what I choose to do. It is not predetermined, and that I have the ability to choose what I'm going to do, and it's my choice, not God's choice or whatever, the Creator's choice. Meaning, every single thing I do has already been done. It's predetermined. It's already happened. It's going to happen no matter what. Okay? That's what free will is, I believe. Now, if you put that to a video game, that means that when I log into Grand Theft Auto, I'm going to play that game the same way. It's already happened. Right? But you can play Grand Theft Auto a million different ways.
Right, you could play Grand Theft Auto only a million different ways.
Is that character always going to play the same way? That's where you get down. I don't know. A million different ways because a million people can play it, but is that person always going to play the same way? I don't know, because you only do it once, so you don't know.
Right, but here's the thing, right? We don't have free will at all.
Well, but that's what you think.
No, I don't. I think free will is impossible to have, because
Why?
Name something that you want to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Name an animal. Would you want to be a bird?
Maybe an eagle.
Right. So how come you can't be a bird or an eagle? Because you're predetermined to be a human.
No.
No, it was like, dude, remember what I was saying about the fuck, the energy.
Yeah.
The consciousness energy. So you can become one, but you'd have to be done with the life that you have as a human right now.
Yeah, but you don't have that choice. Well, we don't know yet because we haven't killed each other. We haven't died to know if we can become an eagle or not.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things in my life that are just predetermined, that I have no choice in it. Now, I could have gone different.
Everything in your life that way.
Right. So I have free will up until I have.
You can only have it. You can either have it or not have it. There's no up to.
I think there's a guideline in place that I don't think I have free will.
Do you think that every day you live your life is already happened and you can't change anything about it? It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Soul crushing.
What happened? What did you say?
Is that kind of soul crushing?
You think that's soul crushing?
Well, I mean,
yeah, I know. In a way, it kind of.
What's the point?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What's the
What's the
point?
point of doing anything?
It already happened. It doesn't matter.
It's the point of me writing a program, running the test, and see if the test pass.
Yeah, I don't care about some test.
See, like tonight, right? Like tonight, I'm trying to fool around with the streaming platform, right? I've done the streaming platform before, right? Mm-hmm. But I wanted to test to see if this program would work.
Yeah, but because you want to use the program, right?
Right.
Okay. So in that line of thought, why is consciousness bringing us down here to see if it's going to work? To what end? What's then next outside of? Why is he making us do this?
Because maybe the data that the consciousness is collecting is seeing if. So maybe they want to build another universe with more species, with the same exact species, and then they're just beta testing us. Maybe
if it's already built, then that's going to be no free will either. So at the end of the day, all they're doing is simulation for what end? To what end? They already know to what end. And not only that, but it can't be that way because they wouldn't be seeing what's going to happen. Free will means it already happened. They already know what's going to happen. As soon as they write the code, they know what's going to happen. There's no deviating from it. There's no reason.
Yeah, but there is no deviating from the code.
There's no reason to run the simulation. If it's not the same every time, no matter what, why run the simulation? You already know what's going to happen. You wrote it. Guy's going to cross a bridge. Bridge is going to break. Guy's going to fall in the river. Every single time it's going to happen. Why run the code? You know what's going to happen. You made it happen. You said it's going to happen. It's going to happen. There's no deviating from it.
Yeah, but we still don't know what's going to happen. That's why we run that test.
But the guy that ran the test knows what's going to happen. He wrote it. Guy's going to walk on a bridge. Bridge is going to break. Guy's going to fall in the river. That's what's going to happen every time. There's no reason to run a simulation. He wrote this what's going to happen. It's in stone. That's what's happening. Where's the simulation going to play?
But sometimes, right?
No.
No, hold on a second.
So sometimes.
When you write a code, sometimes you can write the code the same exact time and it behaves differently over time. Like the code is never static. right? When you write a code for a computer.
Okay, just a question. Do you know when that's going to happen? Do you know when the code's not going to go right?
No, you don't. That's why you got to run the code.
So that when that should be some sort of a difference than predetermined, because you don't know it's that it wouldn't get to your free will maybe all the way, but if you don't know when that's going to happen, then it's a chance. What I'm saying is, the free will gives you a chance of things. Predetermination does not. Does not. Right? So
now let me ask you a question.
There's no free will. There's no chance in your life for anything happening except for what's written down in that stone. So that means that there can't be no fluctuation of code. There can't be no deviation of anything. That wouldn't be predetermination.
Yeah, but your life, who you are, Joe, right now, was predetermined.
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, you could have been born black.
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about.
No, but that's part of so.
Yeah, but I could have been born black, yes. But as Black Joe, I could have went to college or I could have went to sell drugs. Whose choice is that? Is that in the simulation or is that my choice? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's certain things that you can't get around. I'm a human. I'm a guy. I'm a male. Although nowadays, I'm a male, right?
Right.
So yeah, that's what we start with. But that's not what free will is. Free will isn't, I believe, what you are, right? It's what you have the ability to do and chances that can happen to you.
Right. I understand that. But let's break it down, right?
Yeah.
Let's break it down to the very beginning. When we said the atom, right? The atom is the atom. Yeah. And the atom behaved this way. So that way this world's a simulation. So the fact that you were born Joe, Grady, Italian, and Irish, that was it. That's who you are. You cannot change that at all. Right. Now, within the guidelines of being Italian and Irish, right? We could give you different simulations for you to run your life, but there's just a guideline that you're stuck in and you can't get above that.
Yeah, but I don't believe that's what free will is. I don't believe that's what that means. Can we get a definition of free will?
Yeah, let's get a definition of free will.
I could be wrong.
The power of acting without the constraint of necessity or fate. The ability to act at one's own discretion. That's impossible.
Act, but it's act, not be.
Yeah, the ability to act at one's own discretion.
Right, but you don't act when you're like I'm not acting as you're saying that I could have been born black, right? But it's not acting black or white. That is what you are. It's can you act different ways, right?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That's it. Yeah. Okay.
I think that there isn't. I don't think there's true free will. I think in life there is more predeterminist than free will.
I don't think that's allowed. I don't think it's allowed in the argument.
Why not?
Well, because is there free will or not? I believe it's a. Maybe I'm wrong. I believe it's a is or not thing. Like if there is free will, then it's not predetermined. If it's predetermined, there's not free will. I don't think you can be half and half. Can you?
Yeah, I think you can. Yeah.
It's like it's predetermined that I'm going to be X, Y, or Z, but it's my choice if I'm X, Y, or Z. Like.
Right.
Maybe.
Because remember, Morpheus, you could either take the red or the blue pill.
I didn't see the movie.
Yeah. So you didn't see The Matrix?
No.
Oh, you got to watch that fucking thing.
I haven't said that to me.
It's not even a movie; it's a documentary.
That's just.
Yo, on that note, I got to bug out of here. I'm going to do that, but my computer's going to die, and I got to go to the club.
All right. This was a good conversation.
Do it again.
Do it again fucking tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Sounds good. Same bad time.
There you go.
Nice to meet you.
Cheers to you.
I have a day off tomorrow, so I'm good for that.
Yeah.
The original purple drink, Joe. Empress Gin.
Later.
Yes. What do you think, Valerian?
I think I believe that there's free will. Hold on a second. Oh. Now there is free will, and they're more or less, when you talk about things that are preordained and whatnot, it's like there's probably certain aspects of somebody's life that can be preordained. It's like, but other than that, every mass majority of somebody's life is free will. Up until you get to a certain bridge in your life where certain things were made to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that, but I think there's more predetermined than free will. I think free will plays within the guidelines. Just like Grand Theft Auto, right? There's guidelines set, but you could rob banks and never play the game, or you could play the game, right? But in Grand Theft Auto, you can't drive to other parts of the map where that map is closed, right? You can't burn down a building in Grand Theft Auto because the code doesn't allow it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's the game. You're inside this game, which is predetermined. You do have free will within the predeterminacy, but you can't really have free will where you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Just about. Yeah, but when we were talking about the universe and whatnot, that's what I was wanting to get into. Like, do you believe that we are from this planet?
Now here's the thing.
Do you think humanity was what people try to say is that we evolved on this planet?
So here's the thing. And I believe that we're created by aliens.
Yeah, I believe that too.
I think we're created by aliens. And I think
we were spliced.
Right. We were spliced with the hominids.
A number of different ones. Different species put together, and then we came as the perfect being, so to say, what they were trying to create.
Now, I mean, this may sound controversial, but I believe that the Bible is written for Black people. And this is why I say this. Because I believe that when we talk about white supremacy, I think that white people have their own God. I think the Indians have their own God. I think Black people have their own God. And I think the Bible that we read now, I think that's for the Black people.
No, it was created by us.
When you say us, what do you mean by that?
Well, humanity.
Right, but the original scrolls, right? Those people come from another planet. I think we come from a different planet. Like, I honestly believe this may sound crazy, and I probably shouldn't
come from a different galaxy.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't even put this out there. But I just believe that the planet that we're on right now, I think it belongs to white people.
Let me ask you this. Do you really believe that there was humanity or humanoids on this planet before we were brought here?
I think there were hominids like Lucy. You know who Lucy is, right?
Yeah, the first.
Yeah, the first Homo erectus.
Yeah.
I believe. I believe she was here.
Yeah,
But
that was basically the only type of humanoid
humanoids on this planet, yeah,
on this planet. Yeah, but it was not as
evolved as us.
yeah. Well, evolved is a controversial term,
Right.
but it's that's like
I mean,
I I don't
when you
really believe in evolution, but I do believe in we call it, how can I put this, aspects of teaching your own body and learning uh, how the fuck is that put again, from your ancestors in your bloodline and whatnot. There's like things what people would say evolve from and whatnot. There's different things that your body can fight from and shit like that. That your ancestors have managed to survive through, and you ended up maintaining those genes in your body to be able to fight that kind of shit. It was like that's the only type of what I would describe as evolution. It's like, but like I was saying, uh, we're not originally from here. It's like that's one of my main beliefs is that we were brought here, and the dominant species was the dinosaurs. And do you know one thing that they find every time that they dig up bones?
No, what do they find?
Radiation levels.
Yes.
Every dinosaur bones in museums are coated and lined with the fuck do you call it? Iron? Iron paint? What the fuck? Is that what it is that some that fucking shit that I'm pretty sure not iron. Fuck, I can't really think straight right now. Uh, lead.
Lead.
Lead paint. Lead lining paint is covered on every dinosaur bones that they find. And a lot of people that excavate these bones end up getting sick all the time. Because when they're excavating the bones, they're not permitted to be wearing the radiation suits because they would create all kinds of questions people would be asking. It's like why are these people in radiation suits digging up bones? And it's like there's a lot of questions and whatnot that would come up.
Like
And
sometimes you really got to sit back and think, right? When you think about what's going on in Israel and in Gaza.
I'm not really into a news person. It's like I don't pay attention to the world.
Okay. So the war that's going on over there right now, Israel believes that it is their God-given right to control that piece of land. And they will go to any extent to hold that piece of land. And they're using weaponry that is like outside of this world. Like when they drop bombs, like people are just disintegrating.
Yeah.
Like disintegrating. So you're thinking, does that tie into the gods that are what they claim that, they say that there's aliens living in the water now, right? You heard about that?
Yeah.
Right?
I've known about that for a long time.
Yeah. So maybe those aliens are the gods for the white people. That is
Maybe.
saying that is saying exterminate everybody else. And here's the technology to do that. Because there is no reason why I would look at another human being and say, I want to kill that dude.
Yeah.
Like when you take, and I think too, I don't know. It's just really crazy.
Yeah.
It's really
This world we live on is chaotic since the beginning.
Since the beginning.
Yeah. It was like
and I cannot say honestly who's right or wrong on this planet.
There is no right or wrong.
Yeah, I don't have enough information. I don't have enough information to pick a side.
No side is the right side. That's all I say.
Right. I don't know who's wrong. Hamas or Israel. I don't know, because I don't have the information for that. I don't know who's wrong. White people or black people. I don't know who's wrong. The pilgrims, the colonizers, or the Native Americans. I don't know who's right and I don't know who's wrong. I just don't have the information, and I just don't have and I just wasn't there.
The attacking forces are always wrong.
But who's the attacking force?
Well, for I guess our native ways, our native stand and whatnot, the colonizers were wrong in everything that they did to us.
Right.
And same thing with what was the other one that you said again?
I don't know. I forgot. Fucking drinking.
Yeah, whatever attacking or dominant force there is, that's basically the wrong side, because they're trying to take over the more peaceful people to make them follow their rules.
So let me ask you,
because they don't like that that they have more control and more peace than they do.
So let me ask you a question. And we're just talking shit, right?
Yeah.
We're just talking shit. How do we know that the dominant force is wrong? But how did the dominant force get to be dominant if they're wrong?
Because they've been wrong for so long that they just continue doing what they do to whoever they run into.
You got to give me a better answer than that.
Better answer than that?
Yeah.
Shit.
We really have to, the dominating, the people who are dominant.
Well, for instance, look at this.
Hold on a second. We got to really work through this here.
Yeah. I was gonna go quite far back there.
Yeah. The people who are dominant, how the fuck did they get so dominant?
Because they've been doing it for so long.
Doing what for so long?
Doing what they do wrong. Trying to take over land, trying to make people live like the way they live by their rules. For instance, the Templars went and tried what they did to the Egyptians, taking a lot of their artifacts and so on, and then bringing it back into Europe and so on. And then the same thing that's we call it the British and England and whatnot. That's basically where everything is coming from. All the wrong has been coming from there. Do you know what I mean?
I understand that.
Yeah, they've been doing it for so long. For fucking centuries, they've been doing it to different countries, like Egyptians, Africans, and they've tried to do shit to fucking they tried forcing Germany to live their way and whatnot, and then all kinds of fucking shit happened there, and then I don't know, it was just chaotic. That's all that ever happens, is just chaos.
But we have to figure out. So you have 2 kids, right?
I
If
have 7.
right, some are dominant and some are not. Like some of your out of the 7 kids that you have, some are one is super stronger than the other. One is smarter than the other. It's just natural selection.
Yeah, it's based. Well, what I see as is it's based on how they're raised and what they're surrounded by. Like one of my kids are always at home with their mother, and it's just the 2 of them. And then I have another daughter that's with her be she was being taken care of from her brother because her mother was in and out of the hospital all the time, and she was always being taken care of from other people, like neighbors and so on. Like that's how reserved life is. And then I have another daughter that lives down south further, and uh, we call it the mother is always in and out of different relationships, and like I don't really know much about that one down there. And then there's like 3 or 4 of my kids that were adopted without my consent, so I don't know where they are and so on.
Right. But that's I think that's gonna be a part to think about. The person that's dominant, how did they get to be dominant? That's predetermined, right? It has to be predetermined. Because if I had a choice, I would make all I would make all my kids dominant species, but I just can't.
Yeah.
So the dominant species, is that species right or wrong?
I still have to say that they're wrong
I don't know.
because
We're just
yeah.
thinking like
Well,
if you
look at history. It's like throughout different aspects of history, different corners of the world. When it comes to history, it's like the dominant force is always the attacking force,
well yeah
and they're the ones that mass
well
majority
well
of the
well
time
well,
are the ones
well
that started it.
not really, because in American history the dominant force was the English, and the Americans kicked their ass.
Which part? What do you mean?
Well, when England tried to fucking overthrow America and the fucking
Well,
colonial.
you have to keep in mind that America is technically a bunch of English.
Yeah, I know that, but what I'm saying is
Remember that England's dominant force came to this continent.
right, to bring back shit back to England.
Yeah, but England's dominant force didn't go back. They stayed here.
Right.
So no matter what England tried to do, they're not going to be able to fight against their own dominant force.
So what
That's
what
why they lost.
so what so
They're fighting against themselves and they lost.
well, I mean, we do know that the first person to start the Revolutionary War was a black guy, so he wasn't from England.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
So it's how do things get dominant? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just throwing shit on. I'm just talking
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. So I understand.
Just talking shit. I don't know. But I do know that the world is fucked up.
Oh, by far, by fucking far.
And there is no reason, there is no possible reason. There is so much. I believe I got fucked over on a deal, right? I could be wrong, but my gut feeling is telling me I got fucked up on a deal. There is so much money. There is so much money, right? This is how much money there is in the world, which is which is really fascinating. That what 1% of the richest people owns 99% of the wealth, right?
Mm.
Right. That's what they usually say, right? The top 1% owns everything. Okay.
Yeah.
So 1% owns 99% of the resources. But every single day, one person from the 99 crosses over to the 1%.
Yeah.
So that tells me that even if 1% of humanity holds all the wealth, there's still more wealth out there.
Yeah, it's like there's more. It's an uncountable amount
Of
because
wealth.
they pull like we call it the Federal Reserve makes money out of thin air.
Right.
That's what the Federal Reserve was made for.
So
is to just make wealth.
So if we understand that concept that wealth is abundance, yeah, get it. I get it. There's always gonna be a billionaire and a trillionaire and all of this shit. I understand that. Like there's gonna be a guy worth 100 billion, then there's gotta be a guy worth 99 billion, and then 98, 97, 95, 94. I understand that. But if we understood as a collective that wealth is so abundant. Once we figure out that, once we understand the concept that wealth is abundant, we can speak. There's no need for us to fight each other. There's so much resources. Like I was with my daughter the other day and we're driving, and in America, they're going crazy because there's too many apples that's growing.
Mm.
For some reason, apples are abundant and they can't get rid of these fucking things. They can't get rid of the fucking apples, right? The trees, for some reason, I don't know what's going on, but for some reason, the trees are just cranking out fucking apples. And the farmers and everybody else just can't get rid of this shit. And they're complaining that they have too many fucking apples.
And this is going on right now?
This is going on right now.
Yeah. I can see exactly why. It's more likely because that farm, whatever farm orchard that is not a part of the higher ups. And they're having trouble outsourcing their product because it's not a part of their product.
What happened?
Everything is just about controlled. Everything is basically controlled. It all depends on where it's coming from to where it gets sold.
Right, but they're just saying the trees are just going fucking crazy. They can't control the fucking trees.
Yeah.
Like the trees are just, for some reason, the trees are just cranking out fucking apples. And the farmers are losing their fucking mind because they can't get rid of these fucking things. It's crazy. And they're complaining about it. So that's
not selling enough.
They can't sell it.
Yeah.
Because it's too many fucking apples.
Yeah.
But instead of human beings taking this as a good thing, right? So when we think about agriculture, we think about global warming and fucking ice.
Well, you have to think about it like this thing. You have to think about it like this. What they want to do is sell it. What they want to do is make money from it.
Right.
That's the only thing that they have in mind. If they have such an abundant amount of apples, why aren't they just handing it out?
Yeah, That's what I'm
want,
saying.
if they want to get rid of it so badly, instead of selling them, start sending crates of fucking apples to communities that are poor and all kinds, like that kind of fucking aspect. That's all that they have to do. But the
Because
bottom
we
line is that they're only paying attention to selling. And
right.
that's what they're complaining about, is that they cannot sell it as fast as the apples are growing.
And that is because they don't understand abundance.
Exactly.
Because think about it, right? If I have an apple orchard and this fucking thing is just cranking out fucking apples,
Yeah.
if I started to give out these apples to people, people would remember me for next year.
Yeah, exactly.
And they will
It's like,
come. So, yeah, this year I can't sell all the apples I have, but there might be a global shortage of apples next year. And that's the year where those people, the new customers that I made, will come and buy apples for me. Human beings don't understand abundance.
yeah.
They only understand um scarcity.
Yeah. They don't know what to do when they have too much of
Everything.
what they have.
Right. That's crazy. It's fucking crazy.
That's just how the world works these days, though. It's like people aren't looking to help other people.
Yeah.
People are only trying to look to help their own pocket.
I don't know, man. It's 1:15, Valerian. I'm going to fucking bed.
Is it 1:15?
Yeah, it's fucking 1:15.
Wrong. 12:15 here.
Yeah.
All right, well, get some rest, man.
Yeah, man.
I
I'm
have
just
court
trying
in the
to.
morning.
You have court in the morning?
Yeah,
For what?
because of my ex. Lied to the cops and I got charged, even though I was the one that called them, because she was trying to kill me.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, swung a hatchet at me, came inches from my chest, and then I got that away from her, and then she randomly pulled my bush knife out of nowhere. Like literally, I turned around and all of a sudden she had that in her hand, and tried swinging that at me, and then I got that away from her too, and then fucking all kinds of chaos happened after that while I was on the phone call with the cops. And then when they showed up, she she cried wolf, and I was the one that got arrested and charged because of her lies.
So your girlfriend tried to fucking scalp you?
Basically, yeah.
All right, we got to end it on that. Who taught the Indians how to scalp? It was the fucking French.
No, that was her own thing.
Man, you almost got fucking scalped. Well, you be careful, sir.
I try.
And I wish you all the best in court.
Yeah, it's costing me 10 grand for a lawyer.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's my life these days.
Are you still on the reservation?
I'm actually living in Thompson still. I'm renting a trailer.
Or you're not on the reservation?
No, I work on a res though.
How come you're not living on the res?
I just don't want to. Too chaotic out there for me, especially these days.
Is it really chaotic on the reservation?
Oh, especially my reserve. People killing people, people missing, people like there's right now there's a check stop going on, and there's all kinds of shit that are causing teenagers are bear macing each other, teenagers are macheteing each other. There's all kinds of gang violence, and fucking they're trying to put a stop to it. like through the drug and alcohol shit that goes on there. And they have a check stop going onto the reserve, and they're banishing people from the reserve, and all they have is the reserve. And people are actually starting to fucking go through the bush trails to try to get back onto the reserve because they have nowhere else to go, and people are actually getting lost and dying in the forest.
So let me ask you a question now. So when you get in trouble, who arrests you? Does the can you?
RCMP.
Oh, you can't be arrested by Canada's police, right?
RCMP. That's Canada's police.
Oh, Canadian police can arrest you
Yeah,
even on your even on your reservation?
yeah. And they're on the reserves too.
Really? I was always under the impression that Canada cannot arrest Canadian police can't arrest any natives. They have to be arrested by their own police.
Well, it was like that before. Up here in the north, it was like that before, but after after certain communities weren't able to control their citizens, that's when they requested there to be RCMP station built in within the community, and for them to start doing what they do there. Like I forget exactly when that was, but years ago, probably like about 15 years ago, I'm gonna say. Actually, no. I was 18 years old, so that was like about fuck. That was 18 years ago. But 18 years ago, that was when the RCMP station got built in my reserve, and that was the first time that RCMP had started having their own members within the reservation, because
Right.
before, any time that the cops were called and they had to go to my reserve, they would have to travel from here to there, and it would take like about 45 minutes if they were driving the speed limit. But if they were speeding, it would take like about half hour or less, depending on how fast that they go. Because this one time it actually took me 20 minutes to get from there to here. I was speeding. I was just flying.
Okay, so that's why they put the police station on the reservations.
Yeah, because it was getting too chaotic for the. We jokingly called them bandit cops. It was like, but these days they are FNSO, First Nation Safety Officers. That's what they're called these days. But they're both work. The NFSOs and the RCMP are trying to work together, but technically, in the way that I look at it, and also the way that the elders that I work with are looking at it, is that they're basically trying to just kick people off the reserve that have nowhere else to go, and that is messing up their lives and bringing their lives to an end. That's what it seems like that's been going on, because like a lot of people that got kicked off of the reserves are actually dying out. Like they're trying to make their way back into the reserves, like I said, through the bush trails. And that takes a long time to walk through, and a lot of people don't even know their way through the bush trails. It was like, so they end up getting lost and the elements take them.
So let me ask you a question. What does a reservation look like? Is it just like a regular town, or what the fuck? What's going on there?
Uh you could Google Earth it, or you just use Google Maps. You would be able to see some reserves and whatnot. Like we call it on Google Maps. Just search up Nelson House.
What I say, Indian reservation?
No, it was like put Nelson House, Manitoba.
Nelson House?
Yeah, Nelson space house, comma Manitoba.
How you spell that?
MANITOBA.
There you go. Oh, it's just showing me a fucking map. It's not showing me.
I'm not even sure if a Google Maps vehicle even went through the res.
Could I go on the res?
Huh? No, I'm talking about Google Maps. You know that fucking the vehicle that has the cameras and shit.
Yeah.
I'm
Could I go? Could I go through the res? Well, they wouldn't fuck with me, would they?
No.
Hey man, what this black motherfucker doing here? Is there a course called Churchill, Manitoba?
Yeah, that's further up north. That's isolated community that you could only get there by plane or train. Try searching Grand Rapids, Manitoba. In Grand Rapids, there's two sides. Well, technically three different sides of that town. The southern side is a reservation. The side across the bridge is the Métis side, where like the supposed town of Grand Rapids is, and then further up the hill is what they call the hydro area, where there's a bunch of hydro workers that work at the dam live.
Oh, so you're over by Michigan?
No, I said Grand Rapids, Manitoba.
Yeah, but where's
Grand Rapids, Manitoba is central Manitoba. I'm in northern Manitoba.
and where the hell is that? What province is that?
Manitoba.
Yeah, but
Manitoba is a province.
where is that located? By where? By fucking
It's central Canada.
central Canada. Fuck.
Yeah.
And you're way up north.
Yeah, and I'm in northern Manitoba. I'm in Thompson. I'm in Thompson, Manitoba.
How fucking cold is it?
Right now, fuck, I'm gonna have to check to see that. It's minus 20 right now.
Can you go outside in minus 20?
I can. Oh.
What do you mean you can?
Well, people up here are used to this kind of cold.
Oh, what's going on, misunderstood lady? How are you doing? I got the whole.
I'll give you a look of outside.
I used to live in Manitoba. Are you a native, misunderstood? What the fuck is that?
Snow. That.
That's fucking terrible.
There's already like about half a foot of snow. And that's a small amount compared to what we usually get. We would usually have like about 4 feet of snow here. And minus 20 weather, I'm only in a jacket and a t-shirt.
Why? Okay.
Yeah, you would have to be used to living up here to actually be able to live up here. Like a lot of the what do you call it? A lot of immigrants that have been coming into Canada
Yeah.
have been having a hard time getting used to the winters up here because the winter lasts about 7 months. I learned to layer well. He's like, that's true. It's like everybody always wears all kinds of layers. It's like
Yeah,
sweater.
misunderstood lady used to watch us play Warzone Valerian.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she knows who you are.
Nice.
She's
This is the face behind the name.
they face behind the game.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Hey,
actually gets to -40 up here, sometimes up to -60.
Oh, fuck that bullshit.
And that's only with the wind chill that it gets up to -60.
Fuck that. That's horseshit. Yeah, that's bullshit.
No, for real. It could get real bad up here. And I would still be walking around.
Really? Yeah, that's fucking bullshit.
You just gotta layer up, like retro lady was saying. Just put on those layers.
So how did the elders? So let's go back to 18 something. How did people survive in that?
Saying it was they lived off the land. It was like they would take the skin of animals that were able to bear the cold and wear their skin and fur to protect them from the weather.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
That's how it'd be up here in the north, though. Survival of the fittest.
Oh man. Yeah, misunderstood lady. Yeah, we're coming back. The streaming is coming back, but it's gonna be more of this. No more fucking video games. I mean, I miss it, but
Yeah, you haven't really been playing at all?
no, I haven't really. I played Warzone 2 and 3, but like that's it. I'm done fucking buying video games for now.
I play PUBG all the time. You should try getting into that.
Nah, man. It's
No?
such a fucking video game, such a time suck.
You think so? PUBG?
Yeah, I ain't got time for that shit.
I don't know. It all depends on the team that you got.
I guess so.
Yeah, I always end up running with randoms, but once in a while. Do you remember Res Nation? He remembers you.
Yeah. How's he doing?
Yeah, he's doing good. He got me the job that I have right now. He tricked me into getting this job.
That's awesome.
Like, he asked me if I was good with cameras, and I told him that I was trained. Like around the time when I was like 17, 18, I was trained how to handle and use camera properly. And then he asked me if I wanted to come to work with him. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I'll come to work and play with some of your equipment, check it out and whatnot. So he kept on getting me to like do different aspects and control the camera in different ways and shit like that. And then fucking he brought me to work on Monday, and then that following Thursday, all of a sudden he told me that I got the job.
That's fucking crazy.
And I looked at him and was like, what job? What are you talking about? What you been doing? It's like, I've been a photographer. It's like, you got the job. I was like, shit, I didn't know that this was about a job.
Crazy.
Yeah, he's kind of trapped me in on that one. I was like, but I love my job these days.
Nice. So Retro Lady says she's been playing Planet Coaster 2. You heard about that?
Is that from Tycoon?
I have no idea.
Like Roller Coaster Tycoon? Those old school games?
Let's see if she answers. Oh man, I'm so exhausted. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna go to bed. Yeah, by the makers of Roller Coaster Tycoon. You're on. You're on to
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, I used to play those tycoons, like Zoo Tycoon, Roller Coaster Tycoon. Fuck, there's quite a few of them. But I haven't touched those games since the early 2000s.
All right, retro lady, Valerian. I'm gonna pass out.
Yeah. Sweet wet dreams.
Let's get out of here. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Retro lady, go to shakesislive.com and go on our YouTube. And well, let me write it in the chat for you here. There you go. Click on that and let me see here. Let me go to YouTube real quick. Oh, Valerian, have you been to the YouTube channel?
I don't think so, not yet.
Hold on a second here. Hold on a second here. I'm going to give you something to there you go, Valerian. Click on that link. Give me a fucking follow.
Yes. I copied the link. Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, misunderstood. We would love for you to give us a follow and a subscribe over here on the fucking YouTube there.
I wonder if I already subscribed. I'm not sure if I did. But if I haven't, I will.
Yes.
I have my my YouTube account on my phone. Literally the only device that has my YouTube account on.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm yawning.
Yeah, I've been seeing you yawn for a while now. It's a good
Yeah,
20 minutes.
yeah, I'm fucking dog shit. All right.
Yeah.
Retro
All right.
Lady, Valerian, love you guys.
Much love.